अटायर ठीक है ना?
Hi, good evening everyone. So welcome to this last 45 days strategy for FMG exam, and I welcome you all. Just give me a thumbs up to see whether the audio and video is fine so that we can start. And before I start, I would like to welcome and thank Dr. Praveen, who has come out of a wedding to guide you people, and you can see from his attire that he has come out of the wedding to talk to you and to guide you about how you can best utilize your next 45 days and can come out as the winner in the exam. Just give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, good evening all, and I hope I'm audible, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible to me. Let me just check it. Yes, you are audible to me. Let me just check it. Dr. Praveen, I need to just check your voice once again.
Okay, so I think I must be audible.
Wait.
Please see my volume if it's okay or not. I'm just checking my volume. I'm checking just my own volume. And welcome to all my dear students and friends who are about to appear for the FMG this year. A good amount of days is remaining, and we'll just plan and make a good plan for you all so that you actually bring best of yourself. That is what we can do. We can plan a days for you so that the utilization of time becomes more fruitful. You become more punctual. You become a pretty more focused than you were. And maybe we can discuss upon what are the important topics, subjects, and what your weak subjects are, and how to prepare and improve from thereupon. Because a good amount of days is remaining, nothing has been lost out, and any good utilization from the days remaining will give us a better opportunity to crack the FMG this year.
And do you know, Dr. Praveen, the best part about FMG exam that I always like is that you're not competing with your friend.
Yeah,
this is one of the beauty of this particular exam, that you are only bothered about your performance. Your performance is not dependent on how others are performing. Correct. And if you ask me, I will say that it is a very easy exam and it's a very tough exam. Why I say so is that if your thought is very clear and your thought is you want to see pass in front of your name, 45 days are sufficient to get that. Right. But if your goal is not clear and you're just thinking, okay, I will want to get 220 marks, or then you might get swayed from your dream. I'm not saying that my voice is not clear. If your goal is not clear, then you're just give me a sec. Dr. Praveen, can you please continue? Let me just check why my voice is.
Yeah, I believe that your volume is quite clear and okay. The problem might be from my side because of the overwhelming noise. But
no, your voice is fine. Sir, your voice is fine.
As rightly said, sir, any amount of preparation that you do right now, it must be a collective effort, because as sir rightly said, that you're not competing with someone else, you're just competing with yourself. And what happens in FMG exams is we are in a bit of pressure because most of us, I don't think I should say this very clearly or not, but I feel that a lot of students feel that they have passed not from Indian colleges, they have passed from some other college outside India. And so they have always a thought at the back of their mind that maybe, just maybe, I'm not sure about it, but maybe that I am not, well prepared for facing an exam. But the truth is, guys, the amount of study that you have done over the last 6 months or 1 year is pretty much more than anyone who is preparing in India. And that is what makes you special. And that is what makes your effort even more worthy of getting passing marks in FMG exam. But even more important is, as sir said, you're not competing with anyone else. And that should put the pressure down on you. Sir,
and I always believe that gone were the days when your medical knowledge was limited to your medical college. Right. Now, because of the technology, everybody has an access of quality medical education wherever you want. The only thing that is needed is a right focus and determination and will to study. If you have that right focus, the correct amount of guidance, please remember, mind my word, correct amount of guidance. And when I say correct amount of guidance, it means neither too less nor too more. Excess of everything is bad. Excess of guidance is also bad. So a correct amount of guidance, a quality resource, and a will to study. FMG exam has a very simple purpose, and that purpose is that whether you are safe for the patient or not, period. That's all. That's the whole purpose. There are almost set pattern of questions that are asked in the exam that are not very high-fi, but that are not extremely easy also. It is what is expected from an MBBS doctor if you are sitting in the casualty, if you are sitting in the OPD. So, like if I talk about radiology, there are images, there are standard images that you get in the exam. You will get an image of a head trauma. You will get either it is EDH, SDH, SAH. This question is bound to be there in the exam. You're gonna get an image of a pneumothorax. You're gonna get an image of a pneumoperitoneum. You're gonna get an image of hydropneumothorax. You're gonna get an image of intestinal obstruction. You're gonna get an image of barium swallow, barium meal. You're gonna get an image of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Then you're gonna get image of an X-ray, maybe an X-ray hand, and they will mark a carpal bone, and they will ask you which is this carpal bone. Is it scaphoid? Is it lunate? They will show you the X-ray of shoulder joint, and they will mark it. Is it a coracoid process or is it an acromion process? They will show you a chest X-ray. They will mark a heart border, and they will ask you that this heart border is formed by the right atrium or superior vena cava. These are standard questions. The biggest challenge that most of the people faces is when they deviate from that, and from this they're gonna start doing that stuff which is usually not asked in the exam. Like they start reading about the named signs, the images of the named signs in MRI, or extremely complicated images of the CT scans. Those are not the usual trend in the FMG exam. Now, a lot of time, what happens is that people pick up one image. No, sir, this image was asked in the exam. The point is, if 15 questions will be asked from the radiology or 14 questions will be asked from the radiology, with my basic knowledge, I can solve 12 to 13 questions. That is the aim. In this 45 days also, the common suggestion, the first suggestion that I want to give to all of you who are preparing for the FMG screening exam is, first, please get your goal very clear, and that your goal is you want to see pass in front of your name. And mark my words, 150 is also pass, 170 is also pass, 190 is also pass, 220 is also pass. So you want to see, you have to say this, you have to promise this to us that you want to see pass in front of your name. Anybody who is serious about the preparation, write down in the comment that yes, you want to see pass in front of your name. Now, if you want to see pass in front of your name, first thing that you have to do in these next 45 days is you will quickly revise all 19 subjects. You will quickly revise all 19 subjects. A lot of time people come and say, sir, ek kaam karte hain, people have told me just read short subjects and leave the long subjects. And because they are not very yielding. ऐसा नहीं करना बच्चे. हर सब्जेक्ट को भी पढ़ना है. You have to read each and every subject. Each and every subject, yes, dividing. But if I would have been at your place, first I would have seen my preparation. First I would have seen, have I covered all the 19 subjects or have I not covered all the 19 subjects? If I have covered all the 19 subjects, I have my notes available with me. If my notes are available with me, I will quickly go through the notes by making a schedule. How I'm going to make a schedule? Skin, radio, anesthesia, psyche, ortho, FM. We have got these 6 short subjects. I am going to give 1 day to each short subject. 1 day each to each short subject. Okay, na? So 6 subject hoga. You can write it down. Okay, I need not to write it down. You can simply write it down. Skin, anesthesia, radio, psyche, ortho, FM. 6 subjects, 6 days. Okay. Then we gonna talk about medium subjects. Medium subject क्या हो गए देखो, ENT, ऑफ्था, pediatrics, ENT, ऑफ्था, pediatrics. Okay, if you want to add, you can add physio and biochemistry also. Physio and biochemistry also. कितने हो गए? 11 subjects. Okay, 11 subjects. Medium, add 2 days to it. Add 2 days. 2, 5, 10. 6 plus 10, 16 days. कितने हो गए अपने पास? 16 days. 11 subjects, 16 days. अब आते हैं long subjects पे. Now, what are the long subjects? Anatomy, pharma, patho. Anatomy, pharma, patho, micro. Anatomy, pharma, patho, micro. कितने दिन दे दो उनको? 3 दिन दे दो. 3 days. 3 days. कितने सब्जेक्ट हो गए हमारे? 15 सब्जेक्ट्स और दिन कितने हो गए? 28. 12 डेज हो गए 28. और बाकी सबको हम लॉन्ग सब्जेक्ट बोल देंगे. लॉन्ग सब्जेक्ट में क्या क्या आ गया हमारा? ओबीजी, मेडिसिन, सर्जरी, पीएसएम. ओबीजी, मेडिसिन, सर्जरी, पीएसएम. बाकी जितने दिन बचे इनमें डिवाइड कर दो 4 4 4 करके एंड डन. दैट्स ऑल. ट्राई टू डू इट इन दिस वे. With every subject, try to spare out some time and write a mock test. In this mock test, try to identify that which are those questions that you could have done right, but you have forgotten and missed 1 mark. Each and every 1 mark will take you towards your dream. This is the simplest way to take it forward. Dr. Praveen, over to you. Do you have any suggestion?
I think we have just made a good amount of time for every subject. Just to add a few points that can also help a student is number 1, the 2 papers in FMG, part 1 and paper 1 and paper 2. And students, even though they run about part 2 of the paper, that is having the clinical subjects, but they forget that the part 1, that is the paper 1, is a subject that actually passes them. From 150 of the paper 1, they should at least aim for getting 1 at 10 plus. And it's only possible if you have your basic subjects very well prepared. That may be anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, path, pharma, and the microbiology. What I've observed, my personal observation is, it has been a well-proven fact that from paper 2, the questions are very clinical, and sometimes they're pretty long questions, which students actually get disoriented from. So better is, first of all, you make your paper 1 basis very, very strong. And from that, when you get a confidence, paper 1 se bahar aaye, you get that confidence, I have performed really very well. And then is when the paper 2 really gets even more better for you. So what you must do is your time distribution should also be very, very good in that.
Yes. So time management and putting the efforts on both paper 1 and paper 1 and paper 2 is extremely important, and everybody should try that. Please remember, the aim of any exam, when you talk about an MCQ exam, is not to be master of few subjects. It is always to be jack of all 19 subjects. Do you know why? It's simply because in order to get accuracy of 100% in a particular subject is practically not possible. But to get an accuracy of around 60 to 70% in every subject is very much possible. And that is my predominant aim. My aim is to get an accuracy level of around 60% in every subject. I will be easily able to reach to my dream. Very, very easily be able to reach to my dream. Why? Because 50% of the paper of every subject will be very basic. And if I will leave a subject, I will miss on that 50% also. But if I am doing that particular subject, at least I am covering that 50 to 60% of that particular subject, and that is sufficient to pass the exam.
I think, sir, we must also focus on giving a test regularly.
100%. 100%. There is no doubt about it. Writing, I spoke about that, writing a mock test, and in the mock test, identifying that where are you going wrong, and working on your mistake is the single most important thing that will take you towards your dream. What Dr. Praveen has mentioned, I would also like to say this point is that my personal experience, now I'm teaching FMG students for more than a decade, and my experience has been that they are slightly underconfident. And one of the biggest reason of the underconfidence is probably they did not get a very, very decent rank during the NEET undergraduation. They had to go out. So they feel that they have got less knowledge. But my dear, I just want to tell you that your knowledge is not dependent on your MCQ rank. Your knowledge is totally dependent on the efforts that you have done to learn a particular subject. A person who has got great rank, but he has not done efforts to learn the subject will not get the knowledge. A person who did not get a very, very good MCQ rank, but has put efforts to learn the subject can come out with the great score, with the great results. Okay. So it's always about that. So my experience has been that majority of the foreign medical graduates are slightly skeptical in writing the test. They are afraid of writing the test. Do you know, there's a very, very interesting story on this. And that story is, I do not know how many of you have heard of a story of a pigeon. Uh, the story is that when a pigeon sees a danger, do you know how he avoids that danger? How a pigeon avoids a danger? A pigeon avoids a danger by closing the eyes. Whenever the pigeon sees a danger, he closes the eyes. Because once the pigeon closes the eyes, the pigeon thinks that there is no danger because the danger is not seen. है ना? तो इसको बोला जाता है, इसको मुहावरे में बोला जाता है कि कबूतर की तरह खतरे को देखकर आंखें बंद मत करो. आंखें बंद करने का मतलब ये नहीं है कि खतरा चला गया. तो यही हम लोग करते हैं. हम क्या करते हैं? हम टेस्ट से भागते हैं. We try to become a pigeon, we close our eyes. We don't attempt the test, thinking that अरे यार टेस्ट में कम नंबर आएंगे, and if we'll get less marks in the test, we will not feel good, we will feel underconfident. What we do not realize that खतरे को देख के आंखें बंद कर ली तो खतरा तो फिर भी मारेगा ना आपको. So the point is, face the danger. Face the danger, identify what you could have done to handle that particular danger. Otherwise, the danger will come in the main exam, because that you cannot avoid, that you have to write. Now, everybody, we try to skip it. We try to skip it. चलो थोड़ा सा delay हो जाए. चलो थोड़ा सा आज ना देना पड़े. But ultimately, you will have to face it. So the more number of tests you're gonna write, the more confidence you're gonna gain. You're gonna realize that your accuracy level is increasing, and you will be able to reach to your dream figure, and that is 150 plus. Dr. Praveen, over to you.
I was seeing the questions being asked on how frequently you must give an exam. As of now, you must give a mock test every week, and maybe it can be a Sunday because that will always be pushing you that Sunday I'll give a mock test. And based on your wrong that you're doing it, you just prepare it from there forward. So a basic idea of doing a test is should be, it must be focused, and the test should be on the same time as you apply for the main exam. The test should also have the same atmosphere, whether it be a time, it may be, availability of food or water. They should not be there. Only water can be there, nothing else. And that means you must train your mind that this is the exam I'm facing, the mock test, and the same atmosphere are giving the main test. Your mind automatically tells you that the main test is not different from any of the tests. So usually a student should be advised and he should give a test every week, preferably Sunday. And as you're approaching that main exam, I don't think you must give an exam 1 week before the main test, because if the number is not as much as you want to, you may actually get demotivated. So from here onwards, till around say the next 4 weeks, even if you get 4 mock tests is really sufficient. And from there upon, at least 1 more test you can be given. So before the main exam that's going to happen in June, you must apply for at least 5 tests. Okay. And don't worry about the number at all. Don't just worry about whether you are able to finish the test or not, number 1, whether you were able to read all the questions properly or not. And thirdly, whether you are able to differentiate choices or better or not. What happens sometimes is students are so much, when you apply for the first mock test, suppose 2 weeks before the exam, you're in such a hurry that either you'll miss those questions, you'll miss the options one by one. So often I'll see students complaining, so when I mark a question wrong, when I mark a question which I don't know, I often mark it wrong. The reason is that your practice is lacking. The more you practice right now, those 2 options will not trouble you anymore. And that is the reason we always advise to give a mock test every week. Okay.
Yeah, I think very correctly said. So just to sum up, we have to revise all 19 subjects. I am just sharing uh, the once again the list if somebody was unable to copy it. So I'm just sharing it with you. Anisha, can you please allow me the screen sharing?
Sure, sir.
Sir, I think Abhishek is worried about PYQs. Talk about PYQs,
So
but
now
believe
you
me,
can share your screen.
PYQ is something which is very, very, very important. Okay. Without PYQs, you will not be able to understand what are the questions being asked. So PYQs are really, really very, very important for solving any exam. It may be an SAT, it may be NEET exam, and definitely the upcoming FMG exams.
Dr. Praveen, can you see my screen?
I can very clearly see the screen, sir.
What is it? What
Your
is
Windows is using, yeah, Windows the main screen. Yeah, now I can see the screen. 6 days, 1 day, 12 day, and
Yeah,
16
can you
days.
see that? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, see this. So just for a sum up, it's skin anesthesia, radio, psyche, anesthesia, and forensic medicine. We will give one day each. Then peds, ENT, ophtha, physio, biochem. We will give two days each. Anatomy, pharma, patho, micro. We will give three days each. And gynae of PSM, medicine, and surgery. You're gonna give four days each. So that will make around 44 days. Okay, in this, if you are able to finish a subject before, try to squeeze in some GT into this. Maybe if you are unable to squeeze it, you can skip anatomy, pharma, patho, and micro and put instead of 3 days 2 days, or maybe gynae you can do 3 days, PSM 3 days, and then squeeze 1 day GT each from them. But in the 45 days, I would suggest you that try to do at least 4 to 6 mock tests. At least 4 to 6 mock tests is something that you should target, and if you are able to do that, I am telling you that will be very useful for all of you. Okay, so this is broadly PYQs. If you ask me, I will say that half of the paper will be based on previous year topics, at least half of the paper. Sometimes it is even more than that. So if you are very thorough with the previous year topics also, that is again, you are almost close towards winning the battle. But mark my words, it is not just the previous year question. It is always previous year topic. Always previous year topic that you have to pay attention to. Okay. All right, so guys, that is all about the FMG screening exam, the last 45 days strategy. I simply believe that if you are, see, एक और भी important point है जो मैं यहाँ पर बोलूँगा. Lot of time what happens is students say, sir, I don't think I will be able to crack the exam at this stage, and I am very scared. I have got a lot of regret that I have not studied well in the last few days. बच्चे जो बीत गया वो बात गई. We will not talk about that. Whatever has gone is a past. Don't spoil your future because of your past. Start today and change your future. So whatever has happened, we will not talk about that. I am a very positive person in the life. What I say is, whatever has happened now, leave it. Start from today. Just do this promise to yourself that from today now onwards, I will not waste even a single second. There are high chances that you can still will be able to crack the exam. But you have to do this promise to yourself that rather than wasting more time thinking about why I wasted the past time, is not going to have benefit you in any way. So focus on current, focus on future rather than wasting on your time on the past. So follow the schedule, allow yourself to do at least 4 to 6 GTs or mock test in the time to come. Do let us know if we can help you out in any form, in any way. We are there to help you, to support you in all possible ways. Previous year topics is the key. If you have not done some topics, try to do it from the crisp notes available with your friends, or if you let us know if we can help you out in any way. And that's all. That is what I want to say. Dr. Praveen, over to you for the last comments.
I think yes, that's very true. Previous year questions is important, your revision is important, and a timely completion of your read topics is also very important. For which Dr. Rajat has already shared you the timetable. So put the timetable in front of study table. Start from today. Forget what's happened in the past because future is what happens, and you can make your future better only by working on the present. For working on the present, you should have a good timetable. You must be appearing for the test regularly, reading the previous year questions with the topics regularly also, and ensuring that you have no negative thoughts at all. Remember that these 50, 60 days are really more than sufficient to crack an exam if you even have your basics correct. So basics you already have, work on your weak points and try to prepare for the test on regular basis. Okay. Thank you guys and wishing you all the best. I very much hope that you actually get a pass in front of your name, which you will show to everyone. Yes, I have passed. You know, same day, we get saw a lot of Facebook messages. I passed, I became an Indian doctor. And that really motivates you, your parents who are working so much for you. And it's really a most proud moment for all of us.
Yeah, and those who are preparing for the NEET PG exam also, please remember the exam is very, very near. Please don't waste your time. We have around 1 month left for the exam. Please pull up your socks. Don't waste your time for anything that is happening on the social media. This is the way that you get distracted and you are unable to study and people take advantage of this. So please study hard and get a great result. And I'm sure that if you will remain focused, if you will remain determined, we all will celebrate your results together. Okay, take care, and I wish you all the best for your exams ahead.